to the Reflection Show with me, Mustafa Latifa. I know you were expecting to see the usual face, but not to worry, she will be joining us very soon. Yes, it is the International Women's Month. We are celebrating great women. So because of that, we are going to be talking about a very great woman, an inspirer, a philanthropist. I'm lacking words to even tell you the kind of person she is, but she is the CEO of Matter Inspires Foundation. And today I'm going to be co-hosting with Prince Hamdan. We'll be right back after the break.
Okay, so we would like to know, who is Matter Inspires?
So, like I keep saying most of the times, everyone has a purpose on earth, and everyone has been born for something unique and outstanding. I keep saying that it depends on when I'm asked this question, but at this point I say that I am the light of the world because I give hope to the hopeless. I'm able to bring light and inspiration to a lot of the lives of young people, and God has given me the grace to go through this journey for a long time now. I'm just a woman, a young girl out there who has been gifted with grace, with a spirit of influence, that when I speak to the lives of people, they are inspired. And I believe that is a unique attribute that God has given me. So I use that to be able to touch lives and give them so much hope. And I'm glad that I see results.
Oh. How did you come by the name Matter Inspires? Is it just your name added inspires to it?
So partly, but the main thing is that matter means the helpful or the helper. So when I started, I wanted something that represents the act of what I'm doing. I'm out there to help. So luckily or coincidentally, I'm called Matter. So I just said, okay, if I want to say Help Inspires Foundation, it will be something, or Let's Help Them Foundation. It looks so much. So I just thought, okay, Matter Inspires Foundation. I put it there. So of course, it's also my name that have also niched the brand for me. But the main idea is that I am set out there to be a helper to many generations out there. Yeah. So that is how the name came about. And in fact, I had a lot of names. My mentors and I think we had about 50-something names.
Oh,
wow. My name wasn't there. Was something youth association, something foundation, something that I just think that we just even settled on that. I think it was first Matter Inspires Africa Foundation. I'm like, nah, Africa there, I'm limiting myself. So I just took the Africa out, and I think the Matter Inspires Foundation is really outstanding because I'm going to all the nations in the world, not just Africa.
It is.
Yeah.
That's true. You are the light of the world. And then you've really been a light to anybody who has known you, even if it's for a short while. And so, Matter Inspires Foundation. At what point in time, I'm sure our viewers and myself would like to know, at what point in time did you decide that this initiative must start, or I have to start doing something to help people out there?
Okay, so like I said, it's purpose. As you are born and you grow, there's just something that keeps ringing in you, something you have to do. When they say do something you don't want to do, there are lots of things my family wanted me to do, to go and be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, those things. But it's like I just kept swerving the way. And I was working somewhere where I couldn't, I was supposed to go and educate some young people on some menstrual hygiene education stuff.
Yeah.
And when I got there, they couldn't speak English, and I struggled to speak the Gbani as at that time. So I thought, okay, what can I do without involving funds? And that was teaching them how to read and write. I loved reading. I of course, now sometimes I don't get the time to read, but I really love to read, and I'm also a writer. So I felt that could be one way to bring children together, and it really did. So as time went on, I was able to bring in mentorship sessions, because some of them can read but are not confident enough. Some of them can read but they are on drugs. I brought in several activities. Then of course now we have the reflection show, because it's one of the ways we are able to reach out to a lot of young people. So it's been 8 years now since we started. The journey has been tough. It has come with some of its challenges here and there, but I thank God that we are here. So the journey, like I say, it's just something that God wants me to do. I don't think that is something I really thought of, because if even God should give me a chance now, maybe I might say, you let me do this one part-time. But because sometimes the challenges that comes to the work that I do, it's so much. Sometimes you hardly get time to rest.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to even work in the night. Now I do most of my proposal writings in the night, because that's the time I can get to think. Sometimes mentally you are even down. You are even crying, you are crying. Someone will call you and say, Matter Inspires, I'm going through that. I remember there was a time that one girl WhatsApped me. I was going through my own situations, and she was like, she just broke up with her boyfriend and she's down. And in my mind, like, shall you cry? Yes, broke your heart, cry, you are doing that. But I had to put that aside in me and find ways and means to counsel her, to advise her, and she was able to be fine. So I think it's just a journey that is complicated, that is competitive, that is demanding in every aspect of our lives, financially, emotionally, mentally. It's very, very demanding, because you are on this project, you are on that, you have your other things to do, you have your personal stuff to do, and sometimes you hardly even get time to rest. So it's challenging, but we thank God for grace to carry on the cross.
But at what point in time did the reflection show come?
So the reflection show started in 2019, but we were just doing documentaries and just put it out there. Then during COVID, we found out that we couldn't go to the schools again, but we wanted to reach out to young people through another avenue, and that was TV. And now in Northern region, every household has multi-TV. So we just said, okay, let's identify a station that we can put the content on, and that's how we started. I didn't have anything. I didn't even know how to start about it. Even though I've done radio before, I have never actually done TV production. I've never done TV production. I think the only small TV I've done was I think in church, sometimes when you are doing announcements and the camera is on you, that's just normal. But apart from that, I've never done TV production. So it's something that was on my heart. I kept praying about it, and I went to see my pastor, and then I told him that I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Before I could end, and he was like, he actually even had a dream about me, and I was on TV, and he was like, oh, I'll be the greatest Oprah Winfrey. I'll be like Oprah Winfrey. And I was like, oh, okay. So I thought he was going to say, okay, let's pray about it. And then he was like, okay, talk to the guys when you are ready. And our church had our church have a TV production room for so I started using my church studio to do that. I think the only thing I did was a backdrop. So from the gadgets to the lapels to everything was from my church.
Wow.
Then I just got some people from my church who do makeup and clothing. That's what they're sponsoring me. And then I got the guests, and then we started like doing some of these things. So my church has really played a very instrumental role in supporting, because if they can give me a studio and give me production equipment, that is a huge support. Then later on, I also had other partners and other sponsors coming on the way to support. So we are 2 years this year when we started actively airing the reflection show. Yes.
Non-stop.
Non-stop, yeah. There have been times that we want to stop air because we don't have money to pay airtime. But so when I say it's demanding, it's like any small coins you get, you want to put it there.
Back,
And Charlie, you are in the media, you understand production is expensive.
It's expensive, yeah.
Some small thing they'll say go and buy. You go and it's like 1,000, 2,000. Sometimes you see a camera, you go and ask the person, it's 15,000. This camera.
The small camera.
I remember there was a time I was like, let's get a camera. They said, you buy a camera, you buy a flash. I said, I thought they come together. You buy a light. I said, they said, no, the camera is different from the light. I'm like, hey.
You buy microphones.
You buy microphones.
Lights and all
you have
that.
to buy the tripod, like everything. And I'm like, why? But we thank God that God has given us the grace to go on it, and we are on it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
amazing. I must say you are an extremely amazing person.
Hey, extremely,
amazing,
wow.
I must tell you, because I've had the opportunity to work with you for a short period. Take us through the journey. When you speak like this, everybody thinks that it's a smooth sailing journey, that once you start, everything, I mean, is going smooth.
Yeah.
How has the
It's not.
journey been so far?
So we live by sponsorships, we live by grants, we live by support from people. So you have to keep writing proposals. You have to keep talking to people. Some will not mind you, some will not pick up your calls again, some would even be angry with you because they think you are calling them so much. Some would even pick up personal issues with you or certain things. Some will close opportunities to you because they feel that you are young or you are a woman. It's something that has happened to me over and over and over, I think every now and then it keeps happening. And there are times that you qualify, you know,
That
you
are
qualify, but they will stand on something and say that, okay, you don't have 10 years
Descendant.
experience, you don't have 100 years experience, so they won't give us a particular opportunity. But yeah, it happens. There are times that you host an event and people call you to come and speak at the event. Me, before I put an event out on social media, 90% of the times I have my speakers already. So when you see that, okay, Youth Empowerment Summit coming on this date, and you call me to come and speak, and I tell you that, oh,
You
I
have
have
to
my
wait.
speakers,
Yeah.
then people get offended. An example was in 2019 when we were hosting Ohenere Gitianti. I contacted certain people to speak and they didn't want to. They now saw how the event was. They wanted to, like, please, I've closed. I'm not going to remove anyone.
I like
And
that.
then
I
put
like
you-
that.
Some got offended with me. I remember there was one particular woman that practically insulted me over the phone because
Wow.
I was calling her. She was cutting the call. She was busy, and I sent her an invite on WhatsApp document. She insulted me and was like, "Do I know who she is?"
Hey.
Wow.
Instead of me to come to her office, and I was like, "Okay, I just told you what I want to add a letter before I come and see you." So later on, when she saw Giftianti on the flyer,
She wanted
then
to come.
she was now like, so she called me after several months because me by May latest.
You should
The
have
event is in August. By May, by that time it was in October. By May, I have my speakers. So she called me later and she was now like, I appreciate others more than others. And she was not trying to be like, she was correcting me and I got offended.
This is
So I just, in Africa, the elder is always right. So I
Right.
just apologized. She came for the event, all right. She wanted me to give her some time to speak. And I was like, no, I'm strictly on time. So people are going to disrespect you because they don't see you in a certain class.
Yeah.
Later on, when they see you in a certain class, they become offended that you have not involved them. There are times that you actually want some kind of sponsorship from people, they won't give you. Then later on, they feel that you should have pushed harder. I mean, there are certain signs and symptoms I say when I observe in a sponsorship I'm following up, I will stop because it shows that I'm not going to get it. There was one office I entered to one time. Look, the deal was closed because it was supposed to be from Accra. Then, I mean, they were going to give me the deal, but one person in Tamale office was trying to close the deal.
wow.
And I went to the office to go and beg, and he was like, okay, let me see you later. When I got up to leave the office at night, he knocked my laptop.
This is serious.
Yes, that's a man. Yes, so I came to your office, I'm talking. I just got up to go.
In this time and age.
He knocked my buttocks. And at that moment, I think I look at him and I'm like, sir, I was like, oh, are you a small girl? That kind
Wow.
of thing. But what later on made me happy was that he was not the sole signatory to that sponsorship.
Okay.
And ever since, I have not gone back to that organization again because there are two things. He kept making advances. And how long will I keep resist? So those things would come. There are times that you also go to places and they will tell you that, okay, they will give you the sponsorship on the condition that you let them come and speak at your event. And I tell them that the thing for the event is not your area of
Yeah.
expertise. And by the special grace of God, I say this with all humility, my event is, I don't know what God does. I think last year we had over 2,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we had between 2,300 to 2,500 people in attendance. It was live on TV, it was live on Facebook.
Wow.
It's widely watched.
Wow.
So it's like people just want to cleave to the platform, but people don't know the stress you actually go underground.
Yeah.
So sometimes people just want to take advantage and not want to commit money to it. So MTN will not come and sponsor that event, and you want to come with 500,000 cedis to sponsor, and I say I won't give you a certain level of recognition, and you ball, and they'll go and say I sponsored Martha's event. How much? 1,000 cedis. Which an event that's the total budget is about 100,000. And you're bringing 1,000 cedis. They want me to acknowledge you. So people have. You're in the media. We have packages of being a sponsor. So those things come on board because I work with a team. Production is very expensive. Beyond the gadgets, you have to pay people. So if money is not coming in, not everybody will understand that you don't have money. And if I want to sustain what I do, I need to pay my team very well to sustain them. So yeah, it's challenging, it's tough, but we are hoping that God is going to take us through greater and greater heights.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's very good and a unique type of story you have there. I like the fact that you are strict. You know what you want and you go for it.
That's what they say. We are we are rude.
It's a very good attribute of a good leader, not just any leader, but a good leader. Yeah. So all through this journey, is there a point you regret something? You are 8 years now, right?
Yes.
Is there any point you regretted?
8 years in the organization.
Of course, obvious.
Martha Inspires Foundation. 8 years.
Yes, a lot of things. Like I keep saying, of course, there are people that I should have just greeted and passed instead of engaging in conversations.
Yeah,
with
hello,
them.
hi, bye bye.
Yes, there are people that I shouldn't have involved in the organization because they delayed certain things that should have happened long ago because they felt they were older, they felt they know better. And to everybody listening to me, when God gives you a vision, He gives it to you alone. You can take advice, you can take opinion,
absolutely,
but you are the one that is driving that vision.
You have to decide for yourself.
Don't let anybody guilt trap you and make you feel like, oh, this girl doesn't listen to advice. Of course, sometimes you don't have to listen to some advice.
You don't. Because you are the one who seeing where
you are the one seeing where the car is going. If you are going to town and you on your car light or motor light, it only takes you as further as you go.
It only helps you go where you're
so
going.
There are some advice you don't have to take. I wish there were some, sometimes you're like, oh, this is my uncle, this is my mentor. You have to take their advice. It's not compulsory. I tell my mentees that I leave it bare. Maybe you haven't been able to even explain the vision to me well in words. So maybe I'm even giving you the advice based on your explanation.
That is it.
But if you take it and later on you are able to understand that, no, I cannot do this in a certain way, then go back. Of course, there will be times you will make certain mistakes. But look, the mistakes sometimes I have made is better than the mistakes people have made me make.
Wow. Well, of course.
The mistakes I have made
myself
are better than the mistakes people have made me make, because they'll let you make the mistakes and they'll withdraw. I've been there,
and they'll join themselves
to blame you out, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's how she is."
Yes.
So there are times that you just have to close your ears and just understand that, in fact, this is my vision, and commit it in prayer. Oh my goodness, pray. Even when the words are not coming, pray. Pray anyhow you have to pray.
Wow.
Pray and pray and pray. Whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, and if you're a Christian, pray, fast, engage the altar, and go to church, sow seeds on the altar. If you're a Christian, pray. Do good. Like when I say pray,
she means
prayer.
Okay.
And get prayer support. There are times I am down. I have friends I call and I'm like,
pray for me.
Wow.
And that's really helps because, oh my, prayer, if you don't know how to pray.
Okay, on that prayer note, we would have to take a quick break, and when we come back, we continue the conversation.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Marcus King for Church Workers, Money Matters. And she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle and many more.
From that quick break, still in the studio is the CEO of Martha Inspires Foundation, Madam Martha Anabila. She's given us a lot of inspiration. She has taken us through how she started, the struggle she's been through. I'm sure probably you might, learn a thing or two from her. Martha, I wanted to find out, we've spoken about challenges, we've spoken about how difficult it is. Has there been that one challenge that, nearly broke you?
Yes, in 2021, I was asking God why,
wow.
I was like, purpose is selfish.
Wow.
It's like purpose. I even kept the article on my social media handles.
Wow.
I feel like God or purpose is selfish. It's like God just wants you to do something for Him.
Forgetting
He's
about
not taking
Yes, so it's like God is just using me to touch lives. He doesn't care about how I feel. It was so tough because at that time, like beginning of the year, there were no funds. It was tough for me. I had to finish all my money and a lot of stuff. But we still went ahead to plan the youth summit. We had some small funding, and we scheduled it for 4th August. Then 17th July, my father decided to die.
No, my father decided to die.
Wow.
That was like less than 3 weeks to the event.
Wow.
And this an event that had, I had made
Put
a
in
lot
your
of
all,
noise on, put my all in. The event was coming on and my father had passed. I had to go, bury him, come back. There were times I thought of cancelling. Some people asked me to cancel the event. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do that. It was so tough for me because I'm the firstborn, and looking at how the family is, how was I going to do all that, come back to the event? It was, Charlie, it was so difficult emotionally. I didn't even know what I was doing, how I should do it. But I had to go after the burial and everything. I thank God for my team because there are times that I have to call them, are you doing this? After I cry small, I'll call them. Then they'll help me follow up on certain things. We came a day to the event, the venue where we're organizing the event, they wanted to cancel the program because the venue takes about 3,000, but we were inviting over 2,000 people. And that time, COVID was still around the corner. So we're still begging them, and I was crying, I was in pain, and that night, oh my goodness, it was so tough.
An emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
That thing where. But thankfully, they listened to us after so many hours of begging. I think we left there after 1 a.m. that morning of the event. We had to go home. It was so tough. Then we managed to have the event on the 4th. And on the 6th August, thieves broke into my room and stole my phones, my laptop, my money. They only left my mattress for me to come and lie down. And they left my TV and my wardrobe for me and stuff.
Wow.
It was tough. And I got back and I was like, oh God, why? But I just began to sing and I said, whether you do it or not, you are still God. And I don't know where I got that faith from because I was so angry in my spirit. And I'm like, first of all, you allowed my father to die. Secondly, the program was distorted. Thirdly,
Thieves broke into
and I took all my money and everything. I didn't even have a phone again.
Wow.
So the next day, I have a friend who sells phones. I went to her shop and I just got a phone. I was like, I don't have money. I just want a phone. Any day I can pay. Before I could land, they were like, just go and take a phone.
Wow.
So I just went and took a phone and I got everything set up. And I got connected to some of my friends again. And thankfully, some did what they sent me money. They were like, okay, we know you are at that time, it's tough for you. So that moment, it was so tough. And I felt like if I am putting together events, and I had even done some donations before the youth summit. I had done donations. We had helped people to even pay petty fees, books. It's like I was doing ministry. You are praying for people, you are doing everything.
Then you get to
Then
lose your
what
stuff.
happens? God takes. I was like, God, why didn't you let my father die after the program?
Wow.
Dying is dying. My father could have died after the. Why did you have to take me through this emotional situation? And I'm like, what? I was like, what do you seek to achieve for them stealing my things? You know, we are humans, and my relationship with God sometimes gets that. I'm sometimes just talk to God like in the room, like, why did you let this happen? So those times, I mean, it was very tough for me that I felt like things were I was like, no, I don't think that God, you love me.
Wow.
But I thank God that He gave me the grace and He gave me the strength to overcome all these challenges as well. But it's well. I believe that God will give me the grace to go far to overcome these challenges and do better than I'm already doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, how do you feel? Do you feel that God still doesn't love
course
you? He's
not.
using you?
Hey, yes, He's still using me. That one, He's still
But in a
using me.
positive
But that's the context you
Yes,
went
he's
to
still
positive
using
way.
me. But yes, God loves me. I think that He just wanted to equip me. Then I remember the fact that even Christ on the cross said that if it's possible, let
to
this cup.
carry his own burdens.
So I think that He still loves me. But I think maybe I was also being selfish.
Yeah.
Because it's like when the things are nice, I'm like, oh, Father, we thank you for
Yes,
the grace. We bless your name and
jubilating.
everything. And when it becomes tough, I'm like, oh God, why did you
Why
do
did
this
you
to
do
me?
this?
That kind of thing. So I thank God for every season of my life He has taken me through. And now when somebody comes to me for counsel, I'm like, oh, I know this problem. I know the
Gone through it
situation,
before.
and I'm able to give them help and I'm able to give them advice. So I think that and I believe that God is going to take me through that tough time.
Yeah.
It's going to come. It's something He has told me. I know He's going to come.
As you are climbing the ladder.
Yes. Because I want to be the president of Ghana one day. So.
Oh, amen.
Imagine Martha Inspire is becoming the president
Oh my
of Ghana.
goodness! Oh
We will
my
all be
goodness.
inspired, eh?
Please, when I start campaigning, vote for me.
Of
We
course,
will vote
of
for
course,
you.
Of course. Of course. They say dream big.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
dreams
for
might
me,
come
hey,
true.
the way I dream, I
Yeah.
believe that some
Might
people,
come
I've
true.
taken some people's dreams, cry others to
Others-
mine. So yeah, the sky is always our limit, and then I keep saying that God has given everybody grace for purpose. So as we go through, He gives us grace. So like I said, I didn't start to want to be a TV presenter. It just started, and something came up. I don't know what would happen by the end of this year. I don't know what I'll be doing by the end of, because there are times that in fact, like this year, by the time we even hit March, my calendar for activities were already full. And I remember I got a call from a very renowned woman in Tamale. That's what she wanted to see. For 3 days, she kept calling me, and I was out of town. I came in. What does she want? She wants me to mentor her. And I'm like, wait, like,
how
am I
far.
dreaming? Yes.
Wow.
And
That's how far you've touched people's
yes,
lives.
she's like, she wants to also start doing mentorships in her church group or in other schools, because she's fine. She's a I don't want to mention her name. She's a world-renowned,
Yes.
financially capable woman that people know in business in Tamale and even the north.
Wow.
And she calls me and she's like, she wants me to help her be able to that doesn't even know how to start. I should help her with topics, even how to organize events. And I'm like, me. Well, even by her stature, when I'm sitting with her, I look very small. So I think it's the grace that comes along with some of these things. And I thank God that people in the north themselves are identifying it. Because most times, the great men and great women that we have, people come out and take them out.
Yeah.
People come out and take them out.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that people are identified that. And that day when I came home, I'm like, God, give me the grace to continue to be humble, so that I'll be able to really touch lives and touch nations. She might think she needs my help, but maybe she's a step I would also need to climb to a certain perspective, because she knows a lot of people that I don't know. So I thank God for the opportunity to be recognized. And I think it's a special grace.
Yeah.
Well, you are this, I mean, small woman inspiring so many people, inspiring big women and all of that. Some people think that people who inspire don't need inspiration. What
need
is your
power.
inspiration?
We need
What
power.
inspires you?
I think as a Christian, my biggest inspiration is from God. My biggest inspiration is from the Holy Spirit. Beyond that, my spiritual parents, Reverend and Mrs. A.L. Fant, are my greatest inspiration as well. My team is also my inspiration, because sometimes I wonder, like, why are these people working for me? Some of them are taller and bigger than, if I stand with some of them, they are like Goliath and David. But sometimes it's like they're putting so much energy into the thing. I just, okay, we are going here this day. And they organize. Sometimes I'm tired. I'm like, okay. I remember during the COVID campaign, I woke up one day, I was so tired. And I called some of them. They're like, you know what? They're like, Big Woman, today rest. We've got you. They're like,
you don't know, we call her Big Woman.
yeah. So they're like, relax. Like, we've got you. And I actually felt that, I think that day, that was when I was like, okay, it's good to equip your team to be able to do something even when you are not there.
Wow.
I think that is what I should look out for, to live out of relevance, so that everything is not up to matter. I should be able to take a 1 month vacation to Dubai, to go and chill, and everything in the organization is being done. Somebody should sit in for the reflection show for me. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about the inspiration that goes out there. The administrative side should work in the office without me.
Wow.
I should be able to give direction once in a while. And when that happens, you are actually making so much impact. And I think that my mentors out there, I have a lot of mentors in and out of Ghana. Madam Georgina Sarifie-Egbenu, Henry Gitianti. I have a lot of mentors even in Tamale, outside Tamale, TD Jakes and Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts. I have to meet that woman one day. I love her so much. And
we need to meet you.
Yeah. And Reverend Adelaide Hayward Mills. Reverend Rita Crancher. Like, these are women. I listen to a lot of women. Of course, Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to be bigger than you, of course. So these are women that I watch, I listen to, I read a lot of books when I can, because sometimes the work becomes so tough that you hardly make time to read. So I actually prefer audios. So whatever I'm doing, at least I'm able to listen to them. So mentors are available to help me. Ibrahim Mustafa, Kofi Labi, Clement Thomason. All these people are a great pillar. And my mentees, because I have to always be filled to refill them. Most of them come to me empty. And my inspiration is that if I am not giving them that fulfillment, I don't want them to go and get it at the wrong place.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to do more than necessary to be able to give them that inspiration that they need. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, really an inspiration. And since we are celebrating women, I know that this particular episode about us talking to you is really going to inspire a lot of women out there.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So let's talk about your childhood. How was it like?
Oh, my childhood was a roller coaster. My dad was an immigration officer, so we kept moving from Widana, Plomankom, Elubo, Ose Kojokrom, Tamale, Zebila, and other. We've gone through all those places. I think it's just like after SS that I really settled in Tamale. But even with that, there were times I had to go and visit them once a while and all of that. So my parents were very strict. My dad, very, very strict. Very strict. He wouldn't give you the opportunity to do something, like a Barras girl, Charlie. So he was very strict. My mom was, should I say worse? This one can beat you at 5 a.m. and still expect you to go to school with a smile. But I think that one way or the other, it shaped us. It made us who we are today. But I think that if I had had certain opportunities, I would have been better that I am. I don't blame them. In my book, Inspiration for Purpose, I wrote that our parents can't give us what they don't have. They also had a certain kind of training. So there were things I wanted to do that for them. It doesn't make sense. But I don't think I'll prevent my child from doing that because I feel that I remember there was a story that someone gave that he wanted to start a poultry farm when he was young. So he would get money, go and buy a chicken. They'll be like, hey, that children cannot rear chicken. Come and give it to your grandmother. And he was like, if he was encouraged, he would have had a big poultry farm by now. So our parents did not have certain opportunities, so didn't understand certain things. So all in all, I still appreciate their care. Of course, they took me to school, they took care of me. If not for them, of course, I was stubborn because there were certain things I wanted to do. They would say, no, I'll go out of my way and go and do those things. But of course, we thank God that with all that we've been able to have this. So I had a normal childhood. I wouldn't say we were rich. I can't say, but we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
As for the books and your school fees, your father will pay. Maybe it's like the fried rice and the Dubai and the vacations and things.
Calipo and biscuits.
That once a while we got that as well as times were unfolded. But there were certain privileges that even in the northern region, you'll be like, hey, children don't eat chicken. Children don't eat egg. And they'll say that if you're a first one, you don't eat chicken. But me, I've broken that thing. I eat chicken, Papa. So there were certain things that, of course, we didn't get. But my childhood was great.
Wow, amazing. So, Martha, the Reflection Show, it has been on for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
The first episode, when it was aired, how was it feeling like for you?
Oh, it was a great feeling for me because we had put in so much work, and I think we had begun our recording 6 months before the first airing. Yeah, so we had done the recording. We're trying to negotiate with the TV station, then trying to put things together. So it was a bit tough. Then after everything was a done deal, it was going to go on air. That day, I couldn't wait for evenings to reach. I had announced everywhere that the first episode was going on air. And I remember that night, and then I think it was 8 p.m. or so, and by 8 o'clock, the montage wasn't playing. I was like, this movie, they are keeping long. Then when it was like 8:05, 8:06, the montage started playing, and the first face that appeared was like, hello, I'm Nabila. I'm like, hey, I'm on TV. So it was a great feeling. I didn't even want the episode to end. I think that was the beginning of something great, and I thank God for my friends and family who watched, gave me comments, helped me to improve and do better over the month.
Amazing.
So I think that, I keep saying that after every episode, you should see a different Martha Inspires after every episode. And I think that has, and even with the production team, if you see our first videos and see the videos now, we've all improved. Our set, like a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things have improved. And then we've had our own fair challenges, production, equipment. There were times that we get on set and our sound just stopped working. We have to improvise. Sometimes you are recording, you get into the middle and the microphone stop. Like it's been, production stuff, then the camera, it was one hell. But there were times that we were broke, we couldn't keep up with our airtime on TV, and we're not getting sponsors, and we're not sure what we wanted to do. But we thank God, I think for 2022, it was on air full time 2 times a week. Wow. It was on air. Wow. And this year has been good and amazing as well. We've been on air beginning of this year, and we are hoping that we would keep being on air forever. We'll go to the BBC and the CNN as well. But one thing that is I'm very passionate about. I remember there was a day I was in town and I was so busy, and I met a woman who was like, Martha, of course, the kind of job I do, you can't really make everybody up. And she was like, I've been watching you on TV. My kids love you. And that alone just so I took her number, and then I sent some of the broadcasts to her, and she make her kids watch the show. So sometimes some of these things just inspires that people see you, they love you, they admire you. And then my family, my mom, like every week she will be like, what topic are you doing today? Sometimes when I'm not home to monitor, I'm busy or doing something, I'll call and I'm like, please monitor for me, because there are times that of course TV it will delay, and I'm like, please monitor, you're not airing, let me know. Then as soon as she'll be like, oh, they started showing, I was like, okay, fine. And then so those things, I have people, and sometimes people will call me asking me questions. I'm like, please, it's a pre-recorded show, so let me ask. And of course people are hoping that we should have some live transmissions, but hey, bring the money. We can go live because life is very expensive,
yeah.
and especially because the station we are airing currently is not in Tamale, so it becomes. But we are hoping that as time goes on, we can even air in Tamale. Then they pick the feed and it's live on TV. But we are still hoping that we can get all of our gadgets. We can get a lot of things in place to start the live transmission, so that you out there can, of course, send us your questions live to the guests that will be interviewed. Until then, just trust us. I will ask the guests the questions that you would love to ask them.
Yeah, wow. Then you just heard what she says. She's saying that we should try our possible best. Businesses out there, come and sponsor stuff like this.
Come and sponsor the Reflection
Yes, there's
Show.
stuff like this that at the end of the day you are secure. You know that your generation coming will have something to look up to, would have something to inspire them. So if you're a business out there, or even if you're not a business,
you want to support
yes,
us,
you just have some money, clothes, whatever, come and sponsor the Reflection
because
Show.
at the end of the day, I mean, the Reflection Show is I mean, giving future to our children.
And you know, one thing that I love is I get a lot of messages. I've gotten from Nigeria, from Senegal, from Zambia, because Moto TV is not just in Ghana. And sometimes you get people telling that we are watching you from Zambia. And I'm like, hey, people in Zambia are seeing me. And I remember someone from Nigeria that said that I should always send him the link on WhatsApp. So now I've put on my phone time from Cameroon, time for Nigeria, and I say Kenya or to one of the countries. So when it's time, I just thought, okay, it's time, because Ghana, Cameroon and Nigeria uses one time. So there are some of the countries that I try as much as I can to send them per their country's time. And I hope that who knows how far it will go. So whether you are in Ghana or not, you can still sponsor the show. You can sponsor the show.
To impact generations. Please sponsor the show. Latifa, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, talking about everything, I think we are qualified to call her a superwoman.
She is.
Because she combines a lot of things, and then she makes sure that she's not. She doesn't deviate from what she wants to do. At the end of the day, the goal she sets before her, she achieves it. So what I think our viewers out there and ourselves want to know is, how do you balance all these things? Because from the beginning, she kept mentioning God.
And I think I'll start from there. I balance it with the help of God.
Yeah, so I know you have church activities you want to meet up. There are days you have to record to a certain hour, you have programs, you have some meetings you have to attend, your personal life. How are you able to balance all these things?
I think it's timing and discipline. And like I said, I have a team that I'm able to delegate some of the things to.
Okay.
So unless some of the things I really, really have to be there, I try to delegate. Because if you don't keep delegating and you want to be doing everything yourself, when you are not there, nothing can be done.
Okay.
So you only delegate and you be around them to guide them. So that's what I really do. Some of the things I do myself, I discipline my time. I know what to do at what time. And then I ask other people to help me. Sometimes if I can postpone them, I postpone them. Yeah.
Well, for me, growth is key in every organization. Where do you see Martha Inspires in the next 5 to 10 years?
The golden question.
In the next 5 to 10 years, so big.
Wow.
I couldn't have imagined myself here in the last 5 years. The sky is my starting point. And I believe that the God that has given me this mission, this vision, this mandate, and this purpose is going to take me higher and make me so big. So I feel that with whatever God wants me to do, I'm ready.
Wow.
God should use me. I'm ready to be used.
Wow.
And I believe that in the next 5-10 years, we are going to be the greatest youth hub of inspiration in the world.
Amen to that.
Maybe in Africa, then we go into the world. We are going to make sure that
in the next 5 years.
Yes. We are going to hit that. We've started.
Wow.
And when people are looking for where they can go and seek counsel, because it's not going to be me. The agenda is to bring other qualified counselors, create a hub of counseling where people can just call in, maybe like a helpline. So in the next few years, when we have all these systems in place, you have the Martha Inspires helpline where you can call, probably during the week, probably 24/7, because most times even in the night people need someone to talk
Yeah.
to. So we make all these telephones numbers toll free available. Just call. Issues on education, issues on health, issues on relationship, you can just call. If you want, just press 1. If you want that, press 2. Then you get a counselor to
That's
talk
big.
to
And
you.
I think that would
And,
really be
yeah,
very.
that is the greatest vision. If you
phenomenal.
are out there, you want to support that agenda, we can start as soon as possible. But for me, that is really what I really want to start, so that young people can get. It's not just about Martha and Nabila, but other people who will be out there to support the agenda as counselors, as mentors, so that young people can call us at any time to seek for counseling.
Yeah, because I think we actually have some people who have a lot of things bottled inside.
Yeah.
And then no matter how you try to ask them, they will not want to tell you what
And they
is
feel
going on.
it's comfortable to talk to somebody anonymous.
Yes.
So if I can call you and I don't have to tell you my name, tell me your
You
situation.
just say whatever is
And
happening.
I just saw in the news that last week a young man took his life
Yes,
Wow.
a 29-year-old
because
man.
of the struggle.
Yeah, the mobile
because of-
money vendor guy.
And these are some of the avenues that could,
Yeah.
help people like this. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk
Someone
to.
to talk to. I've
And,
been there, so
a life
sometimes
To
would
appreciate
save.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hope that that's how big we want to go. These are just like one of the strategies. I don't even know why I shared it, but please don't steal my strategy.
Oh, since you are the owner of the
Yeah.
idea, they will not get it the
Of
way
course,
you
it's
are,
not
yeah.
just people can do it because
Yeah.
me alone I can't do
You
it.
can't. You can't
Imagine how
cover.
many young people we have in Ghana alone. So if people are ready to do it, you can go ahead. I think we have the helpline for adolescent health is good, but I think that sometimes beyond that, we can have another
Depression.
helpline for just, you can even just call. Just want to talk.
just need somebody
But the
to
way
talk
the
to.
counselor would psych your mind, you will even end up sharing certain things that you may
That
not be
is
able
it.
to share,
That is it.
especially on mental health.
That's key.
I'm so passionate about that because I know what it means to be depressed. I know what it means to not have anyone to talk to. I know what it means to be misjudged, misunderstood. And if you want to talk, oh, shut up. And for
You are a
people,
child.
even if not that, sometimes you have issues with your colleagues and you're like, oh, this person, because this girl is like talking. Before they even hear from you, they feel that because
You
the
are
other person is
guilty.
a quiet person,
You are guilty.
You are guilty. And sometimes I think that people need to be heard. Yeah.
Wow, that's I've just lost words to describe the kind of person this woman is. Yeah, because I was telling my colleagues the other time, like, this is a person out of the blue. You'll be talking about things not even relating to them. She'll just say, okay, I think, note this down. I think we'll be, if we do this, do that, it will be great. We do this. And everything she talks about is geared towards helping people. It has never been about, okay, so how can we do this to get money for ourselves to do this? And most often you see that there are a lot of things that she needs personally or her brand needs personally, but she doesn't think about those things. All she thinks about is,
I need a Brazilian.
all she thinks about is, oh, that school there, oh, those children there, oh, that community there, oh, the youth there. Just now she talked about how to get a toll-free number for people who are depressed and need somebody to talk to. I mean, if you don't celebrate people like this,
And I think that is greatness right there, because they say that if you want to die in vain, live for yourself.
Yeah.
But when you live for people, you never die.
Legend.
And for me, that
Legend.
is greatness.
she is
That
a living
greatness.
legend.
Yes.
And so behind all these, I should think there should be a Mr. Right somewhere. You know?
Speaking about the
All
helping,
these,
the-
yeah.
you want to see?
I'm not married.
Oh, really?
That's what I can say.
So will there be any church bells ringing soon?
Very soon.
I'm sure people want to know. Maybe there's somebody
Please,
somewhere
if you are
thinking,
crashing on me,
this
if
woman.
you are crashing on me, call the official number. Call me, I'll do the selection. So if you are crashing on me out there, call. Just say, when you call, identify why you are calling. I may not be the one to pick the call, so I'm crashing on you. We'll take it from there.
Okay.
But I believe that for a woman that God has brought out for purpose sake, one of the most important decisions that I have to be careful to make is issues when it comes to relationships and marriage.
Yeah.
It's been an issue for not just me. I wouldn't say, when I say an issue, I want to explain that, because I've had people actually sit me down and talk to me about how to be careful. I cannot just have a relationship. I cannot just marry.
Wow.
Because I am marrying for purpose. I am marrying for a unique identity. So there are certain lifestyles I can't even live at this age. There are certain things that you see a girl my age do, I can't do because of the path I have set myself to do. There are certain dresses, unfortunately, I can't even wear again because of the path I have set for myself. So when it comes to that, I keep saying, I don't know when I'll get married, but I believe that at the right time, when God sends the man that has what it takes to carry the mandate he has given me, he would come. Until then, we day.
So 2023, we are in the year. First quarter is here. And I mean, we have economic crisis and all that. There are a lot of things young girls right now, like they want. Pad right now is what, 20 cedis?
Yeah, between 15 to 20, depending on the brand.
And it's not even what we used to say, like always. It's not the best. You know?
Yeah.
And we find girls out there, their parents don't even ask them how you even get your pad. So what is the message out there you want to give to young girls who want to get to where you are? But unfortunately, there are men prying on their innocence, prying on the fact that they don't have anybody to take care of them in terms of their personal hygiene and stuff like that.
So first of all, it's good to think that you want to get to where I am.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be your end. You should be greater than me.
Okay.
You should, by the time you are my age, you should have achieved better than I have achieved at this age. Now, as a young girl, you can't get everything you want. That is what you have to put at the back of your mind. It's not everything you want that you will get. It's not, life is not, it's not something that you get everything. There are a lot of things I want, as I said. There are things I need. Please, I need a car. Get me a car. So there are things that I need. But there are times that you want to get some things. And like Latifa said, you think about people who are in schools that need books. That one does. Your money will never be enough to buy the car, because by the time you are saving to buy the car, it's coming
Something
down.
else,
you are saving to buy something, it's coming down. So all I want you to know, that people are out there who appreciate you as young people, who are sacrificing for you. You won't get everything. So whatever your parents are able to get for you, appreciate it and do well. Sometimes the things you actually want are also meant to destroy you. You might need a tablet at 14, 15 years old. Maybe you have a phone, you can use the same thing for that. You want an iPhone when you can just get an Android phone and use. It serves the same purpose. So as a young girl, don't just sit down and say that you want this, you want that. Make sure that whatever is available, you appreciate it and use it well. When you do that, you reduce the people or the circumstances that takes advantage of you. So appreciate yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself, and at the end of the day, you'll be outstanding and you'll be unique.
Wow.
Wow. What an amazing time of greatness. My first time hosting the Reflection Show, and it has been greatness upon greatness.
Yeah, it's been
from
an
this
honor.
beautiful and phenomenal woman, sharing with us her story and her struggles on her way to becoming her dream woman, the person she wants to become. I think this is all time will permit us. And I want to thank you for watching the Reflection Show today. And we would see you same time next week. My name is Prince Hamdan, and I've been doing this with Latifa Mustafa. See you next week. Bye-bye.